Hey, welcome back to the Academic Society. Today we are talking about books. As you know, I've recently published my very first book, #GradBoss. It's a grad school survival guide. So I went to my Facebook group of just grad students. It's a community. If you would like to join, I'll put a link for it in the description of this video. But I asked them what other books do they like to read? Like what other books were really helpful for grad students? And so they gave me a list and I'm sharing it with you today. And so this is the 10 must-read books for grad students. So if you're interested in that, keep watching. So I'm Toyin, the founder of the Academic Society. I got my PhD in math. I got my dream job as a lecturer. I just wrote a book, which I'll tell you more about. And I create these videos for grad students to help with time management, productivity, overall grad school, and academic lifestyle things. Okay, so I asked my group, what are some must-read grad school books? And they gave me 9 books. But this video is about 10 books because I'm going to start with my, this is 10. I'm going to start with my own book. It's a grad school survival guide. It's called #GradBoss. And if you haven't heard of it, definitely check the link in the description. I will actually link all of the books in the description of this video, as well as I'll have a blog post link so that you can view the summaries of the books that I list today quickly and easily, so you don't have to try to jot down all the titles as I list them. I think this will be a pretty quick video. So I'll put a link to that blog post below this video. But like I mentioned, I'm starting with my own book, #GradBoss, a grad school survival guide. The first 3 chapters are all about planning and organization, how to set yourself up for a successful semester. And then the rest are just really practical strategy, tips, tricks, all the things you need to survive grad school. I'm talking about relationship building with your cohort, as well as your advisor, what to do if you need to break up with your advisor, how to get stuff done when you have an unstructured schedule, how do you force yourself to do work. I'm sharing myths about work-life balance, all of the things. You can check it out in the book. All right, so here are the other 9 books that my grad students mentioned were amazing for grad school. All right, let's start with the first one. The first book is called The Now Habit by Neil Fionn, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this was actually recommended by more than one person in my group. Next is Deep Work by Cal Newport, also recommended by more than one person in the group, so those are great. Next, this one's kind of long, so I'm going to read this. The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women, Why Capable People Suffer from the Imposter Syndrome and How to Thrive in Spite of It. So we talk a lot about imposter syndrome, and I always like to say, you made it into grad school, you got accepted, that means you deserve to be there. You are qualified to be there. And so I know it's very hard when you're in the thick of it and you see other people around you maybe seemingly succeeding more than you. You made it in the program, you are capable of making it through the program. So maybe this book will be helpful for imposter syndrome. By the way, I haven't read any of these books, but they're on my list. But I think it's more valuable that grad students are recommending this to you. All right, next is Headstrong, 52 Women Who Changed Science and the World by Rachel Swaby. I love women changing the world. Yes, go women. So this sounds like an awesome book. Next is Open Up Study Skills, The Unwritten Rules of Ph.D. Research. Who needs to understand the rules of PhD research? I feel like they're unwritten, like they just said, and you just kind of have to figure it out along the way. And so I think this book will be really helpful. Next is The Dissertation Warrior. That sounds amazing for those of you in the dissertation phase. Next is Little Bets, How Breakthrough Ideas Emerge from Small Discoveries by Peter Sim. So that's awesome. Sounds like an amazing book. Again, all links will be in the description, as well as to a blog post. Next is a Mindset, The Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck. So in math education, they actually in the math department as well, we study Carol Dweck's work all the time. So I will highly recommend this book. And then finally, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero. So I actually got to hear her speak. She had another book coming out. It's the Everyday book. So it's one that you can read every day, almost like a little devotional. But she is amazing with mindset, especially if you feel like you're having some imposter syndrome symptoms. definitely check out Jen Sincero. So those are the top 10 must-read books for graduate students. Are there any more that should be on this list? Share them in the comments of this video so other grad students can find them and read them. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more back to grad school content, I will put a link to one up here, as well as a link to a playlist of all of my back to grad school content here. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.